Welcome back to the King's Corner, the place for all things Bethesda. I am the KingFanMan with a Fallout 76 news update. Patch 8 is here with the Sheepsquatch and all the details. I have them for you right now. Download size for today's patch is approximately 6 gigabytes for consoles and 2 gigabytes for the PC. Before we get going, let me say Bethesda surprised us again, as always, with a lot of world changes that I think you're going to really like. Plus, at the end, I will give you a review of the Sheepsquatch quest line with maybe some minor spoilers, but no major spoilers at all, so don't worry about that. Plus, remember that there is no player vending in Patch 8. They put that off until Patch 9. So with all that said, let's jump into Patch 8. The biggest part of Patch 8 is, of course, the questline Sheer Terror, or as it's called now, Lying Lowe. And it starts by getting a free poster from the Atomic Shop. And you can put it up in your camp, or you can find the free poster at any train station. The Lewisburg train station would probably be the best to find it. And you just read the poster. It is a poster of the Sheepsquatch, of course. And once you read the poster, the quest line will start. And it is about finding the Sheepsquatch that ate my brother. So, kind of an interesting way to start this line called Lying Lowe. Now, there is a new dungeon that is coming called the Burrows that was talked about in the last Inside the Vault, but that one is coming April the 16th. Again, that one's going to be in patch number 9 with player vending. That's the one that is going to be under Harper's Ferry, and we talked about that one a little bit with the last Inside the Vault. Along with the free poster, there's also some other new items in the Atomic Shop this week. There is a Deathclaw rug. Everybody's always wanted a Deathclaw rug, right? But there's also many new items in the Atomic Shop, so be sure and check out the new Sheepsquatch line in the Atomic Shop this week. Just a few of the items are a new set of power armor with a very cool looking helmet on it, with a skull looking helmet on it, hunter's vests, all kinds of stuff. Just check it out for yourself. Some of those pictures are up on the screen right now. Moving along. One of the biggest changes in patch number 8, and it is a huge one, and I think everyone's going to love it. And I'm gonna put it up on the screen and read it for you because this one is huge. It is a vendor faction update. A vendor from each faction, except the Enclave, can now be found downstairs in the shop at the White Spring Resort. This should help reduce the need to fast travel in order to visit multiple vendor factions when buying and selling items. You know how you used to have to run all over the map to get the 6 or 7 different vendors to get the 1,400 caps? Well, listen to this. The pool of 200 caps that was previously allocated to each vendor faction has been merged into one combined pool of 1,400 caps that is shared across all factions. So now, again, you don't have to run all across the map to make those 1,400 caps. They are now, you go to one vendor, and that one vendor has 1,400 caps. But this means that buying items from or selling items to a vendor will update the pool of available caps across all vendor factions. This change should offer more flexibility when buying and selling higher priced items or when attempting to trade many items at once. The vendor cap pool still resets after 20 real-time hours. That is a huge change. Thank you, Bethesda. What a wonderful surprise for us. And by the way, again, you can find all of those vendors in the White Spring. But remember, you go to one vendor now, and they will have a cap pool of 1,400 caps. So no longer will they have a cap pool of 200 caps. They will have 1,400 caps. So now you don't have to run all over the map. Each vendor will now have 1,400 caps, but that's the limit. So running all over the map doesn't help anymore. It's only 1,400 limit, just like it was before. You can make the same amount of caps, but you don't have to run across the map to do it. Thank you, Bethesda, for a wonderful change. Now, if you're interested in the PvP survival mode, there's been some changes made to that. Number one, the amount of aid that is dropped on death has been significantly reduced. Remember, they said they're gonna tweak things to see how things work. Also, the number of caps lost when killed by another player has been reduced from double to 25% of that character's level. For example, at level 60, a character who is killed in survival will now lose 15 caps rather than 120. So that is a major change there. Also, scoreboards. Map highlights for the top 3 ranked players are now based on the player's killed scoreboard rather than the longest life. So that is another major change. It's not how long you live, it's how many players you've killed, which is huge because it had gotten to be, let's go hide and see how long we can stay alive, and now it's how many that you can kill. And lastly, temporary invulnerability. In a recent hotfix, we addressed an issue that could prevent the temporary invulnerability effect from being applied correctly to players after fast traveling or respawning. So all of those are changes to the PvP and survival mode for Fallout 76. There are some balance updates that they go over. I'm not going to go over all of them. They have changed turrets at camps, just increasing the power of turrets just a little bit, balancing them, basically saying like a shotgun turret is more like a shotgun, increasing the effectiveness of turrets within your camps. Also, they've changed some values of crafting items. Let me give you an example. There are several craftable hats and outfits that had their crafting costs increased and cap values decreased, and this is the dev note. Previously, it was very easy to gain lots of caps by crafting and selling these items. We've made a balance adjustment accordingly to prevent them from being exploited. So they're just trying to balance things in the world. The chance to acquire milk from a Brahmin spawn at a player's camp has been reduced by half, so they've just kind of balanced some things, and the list of that, of course, is in this patch notes, and the patch notes will be in the description if you want to go over all of those balance notes. It gets kind of tedious. They have added a new news screen when you first log on that will notify us of any new Fallout 76 announcements like Atomic Shop offers, patch notes, or the latest in-game related news. The top news screen will display 4 different items. You can cycle through those items by pressing the D-pad right to left on the controller or clicking on the PC. It's just going to be a news screen as soon as you click on, and it'll tell you what's going on in Fallout 76, so you won't miss any of the latest news in Fallout 76. Now, here is another awesome surprise that they gave us that I know you're going to love, love, love. Add a personal touch to a wide variety of items by giving them custom names. You can now name your apparel, your armor, your weapons, your power armor chassis, and your power armor. You can name your weapons. Remember how we would lose our power armor or not know which power armor was in our inventory? No longer, because you can now name them. You can name your weapons, you can name your armor, you can name all of your items in your inventory. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Finally, we can name those. Now, it will change how your workshops act. It does change how your stash boxes act, so be careful when you're going up to your stash boxes or when you're going up to your workbenches. The buttons work just a little bit different because there's now some different things that you have to go through because the naming is a different button. Just be wary of that, but you can name your items now. What a wonderful, great surprise that Bethesda gave us here in patch number 8. I've been waiting on this one for a long time, and I've had a name ready for my gun. I'm not going to give it to you yet. I'll just wait until you see me in the wasteland for you to see what my gun's name is. They even tell us they've added some art, graphics, and sounds to Fallout 76, meaning there's some new animations to some of the workbenches and even when you're resting in the world, but I'm going to leave them as surprises so they just shock you when you're out in the world. Again, Bethesda loves to give us those little surprises, and I love that they continue to make this game better and better, just slipping those little things in that they do not have to do, but I just love that about Bethesda. Now, the rest of the patch is bug fixes, performance, and stability fixes. They go over events, quests, and just general bugs and performance issues that they fix. Again, I'm going to leave a link to the patch notes in the description. If you want to go over these, you can at your leisure, but there are a bunch of them, I promise you. They really have been working very hard on this game. Finally, let me give you my impressions, my first impressions on this line, Sheer Terror. As you know, I've been looking so forward to the Sheepsquatch and getting in there and hunting down the Sheepsquatch. Again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers. I will try very hard. There are some very cool things that you're going to get into. I have enjoyed it so far. I have not fully finished it. I have gotten to the very end, but I haven't fully finished it. But I have very much enjoyed their take on the Sheepsquatch. I encourage you to actually do a lot of this one, believe it or not, by yourself, so that you can really listen to the holotapes, read the notes, take your time, really read the notes, really listen to the holotapes, and get into the story, and I think you will really enjoy what this one has to offer. I am really enjoying it, and I can't wait to go back and do it again on my Xbox character and my PS4 character, because I really enjoyed it on my computer character. And guys, it just makes me even more excited about the next set of content that they're bringing April 16th. I mean, all we have to wait is a little over a week for even more content. Can you believe that? Bethesda just keeps giving us more and more content. Y'all be sure and go check all my links down below. We have Discord. Go check that out. Please go check out my Patreon. And if you can and if you're able, think about becoming a supporter of the KingFanMan channel, because that is the way I stay on YouTube. That's the only way I can bring you these updates, and the videos that I bring you is because of my very special supporters on Patreon. Hi guys, thank you for my Patreon supporters out there. Or if you would like to give a one-time gift to the KingFanMan, we have something called coffee. That link is down below as well. But I'm just happy you're here watching the KingFanMan, most of all. I am the KingFanMan. I hope to see you out there in West Virginia hunting down that old Sheepsquatch. We got to get him to stop eating people's brother. I am the KingFanMan. I'll see y'all later. Bye guys.